Oh boy, this stuff made me realise why Pokémon got a 12 plus rating in the UK when re-released. Hello, welcome to me attempting to translate Pokémon Silver's original script and pick out the regional differences between the Western and Japanese version. In this video, we have our main character, Zero, who has just arrived at Violet City. We'll be covering a number of regional differences, from the censorship between the characters, Japanese Pokémon name differences, and even some transcription mistakes in the English version. We also have some messed up storylines, particularly around the Slowpoke Well incident. So sit back, relax, and come for the journey with Zero. Let's dive in. The city is beautiful. It has trees, flowers, and a gym.
I'm so tired that I'm about to piss all over myself.
This is Zero's time to shine. Welcome to Violet City. The Japanese name, Kikyo City, references the Japanese bellyflower, a flower associated with autumn and often used in Japanese art and literature. The English name, Violet City, maintains a floral theme but uses a different flower name, which may not carry over the same cultural significance. There's nothing particularly interesting in the city, although Sprout Tower is something that is foreboding and stands across from us. Let's take a look in here. In Japanese, Sprout Tower is called Madatsubomi no To, which translates to the Tower of Madatsubomi. Madatsubomi being the Japanese name for Bellsprout. This is inspired by real-life Japanese Buddhist temples, specifically in the Nara prefecture, like Kofuji and Hororyuji. The tower has monks who train mostly Bellsprout, sometimes Hoot Hoot, and the gameplay includes movement in the pillars. At night, ghastly are said to appear. Once we get to the top, we catch a glimpse of Zero's new best friend, the thief that stole Professor Elm's beloved Chikorita. Silver catches us on the way out. I decide to look into the language style between the Japanese and English versions, and it's pretty similar. He uses the word babble in English, which is pretty funny. He's a dick in both versions anyway. Let's move on. Zero makes quick work of the Elder, and Cyndaquil evolves into Quilava. In Japanese, Quilava is known as Magumarashi. The name Magumarashi comes from magma and arashi, meaning storm. Together, it literally means magma storm, a powerful destructive force of nature. In English, the name was changed to Quilava, a blend of quill and lava. We also catch Mareep in the grass outside the city. The Japanese name is Maripu, similar to the English. The origin of Mareep's name is Meri, which could mean merry, and sheep. So literally merry sheep, simple, cute, and quite Japanese. In English, the name is more stylized. Mareep actually sounds like Mary Sheep from the nursery rhyme, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Interesting. Enough of that, it's time for Zero to get his first gym badge. There's only 8, so it can't be that hard, can it? We arrive at the gym, and Zero takes on the trainers leading up to the gym leader. The Japanese and English dialogue are mostly the same, but one line from the second trainer really stands out. In English, he confidently says, the keyword is guts. But in Japanese, he says, Ai kotoba wa tokonjo. This literally translates to something like, the password is spirit, or the keyword is fighting spirit. It's a lot more about inner strength and determination. The English version simplifies this to just guts. Once we dispatched a couple of trainers, we get to Faulkner. In Japanese, Faulkner's name is Hayato. It comes from Hayate, meaning swift, wind, or falcon, both tied to speed and flight. When localized to English, the name becomes Faulkner, a play on word for Faulkner, a person who trains falcons. The English and Japanese conversational texts are similar, so there's no need to go into that. But beating the gym leader, the man that usually blocks our way is now moved. Zero wants to head towards the next Pokemon gym, so we shall. After we do some more errands around the place, including returning Professor Elm to speak about the secret egg, we continue the journey. As we head towards Union Cave, the area that separates Violet City to the next city, there are a few things to point out that are different in the Japanese version and the Western release. Number 1. If you look close at Nidorann's name during battle, something odd happens. In the Japanese and Korean versions, the gender symbol, that little symbol here, appears to the right next to the Pokemon's name, like this, Nidoran or Nidoran. But in the English versions, the translators move that symbol to sit next to the Pokemon's level indicator instead. The result? You actually see the gender symbol twice, one in the name and one next to the level. It's a tiny thing most players don't notice, but why does this happen? In the Japanese version, the gender symbol is literally part of Nidorann's name, like Nidoran. But when the English team localized it, they added a separate gender icon next to the level instead. and forgot that Nidoran already has one built into its name. It's a tiny oversight, but one of those classical examples of how localization can accidentally double up when the systems don't quite match. Number 2. If you're playing the Japanese version of Pokémon Silver, you'll see that the fisherman's sprite is smoking, but in the English version, they removed it. No smoke. It was one of those small edits that most people probably didn't notice, but it's definitely a censorship thing. And there's a few more examples of this as we progress through the game. Zero reaches Union Cave. The Japanese name for Union Cave is Tsunagari no Doukutsu, which translates roughly to Linking Cave. According to Game Rant, Union Cave is inspired by a real location, Gamanokuchi, in Nigishima Bay. The real cave has underground routes and connected waterways, which caves tourists can snorkel in, similar to the watery pools in Union Cave. After passing through the damp tunnels of Union Cave, the light opens into one of the most peaceful places in Johto, Azalea Town. But in the original Japanese version, the place isn't called Azalea at all, it is Hiwada Town. The word Hiwada actually references a colour, Hiwadiro, a warm, reddish-brown tone inspired by the bark of a Japanese cypress. So while in English, Azalea paints a picture of blossoms and flowers, the Japanese name gives something more earthy, a small wooden town surrounded by bark, nature and tradition. We automatically run into this fine-looking gentleman, guarding this. Wonder what this is all about. Zero has a chat with the character, who says some suspicious things in English and Japanese. In the English version it's actually quite funny, where he states, "Aren't I a good Samaritan?" In Japanese, he says, "Aren't I a good person?" Similar tone, but just thought the word Samaritan was a bit funny. Zero walks around the town asking some of the people what is happening, and these similar figures seem to be all over town, including blocking the way to the next gym.
What?
Zero's not having that.
How dare you!
This is why he exists. Zero can't find anything specifically from others until we reach this mysterious house of a man called Kurt, whose name we've heard about town. Kurt's daughter states that her Slowpoke has been stolen and is gone. The only difference in the Japanese versus the English is the word doshio, which is what should we do? Zero speaks to Kurt to find out more information. Kurt mentions the culprits at hand. Team Rocket!
Prepare for trouble!
Make it double!
We've dealt with Team Rocket in the past. We've also defeated their leader, Giovanni. Zero may have not met them, but they are supposed to be gone. What's going on? In both English and Japanese, the dialogue is the same, though in Japanese he has a word ending particle of ya, which means a masculine and Kansai dialect. Again, this can reference back to the real area that this is based in, Kansai. And in English, Kurt says he's going to give them a lesson in pain versus I'm going to teach them a lesson myself. The English version is a bit more funny. Kurt makes his way towards the well. Zero makes his way towards the well, and the gentleman blocking the well turns out to be Team Rocket. And now he's gone. This is a good time to explain one of the sprite differences between the Japanese and English versions, which is Slowpoke. When we were in Union Cave, we saw a glimpse of this. In the Japanese releases of Pokémon, there were stripes on the belly of the Slowpoke, but in the Western version, these stripes were removed. This was part of the broader effort to update and improve the sprites for several Pokémon in Gold and Silver when released in the West. But if anyone knows more about this and the reasons, please tell me in the comments below. When we find Kurt, he says something about hurting his back. Zero must continue, but there are a number of rocket grunts in the way. The first grunt that we run into is the same guy that was blocking the road before. What tool? His translation is definitely a bit more quirky in English. He states that Kurt is an old coot. In Japanese this literally translates as old man. He also uses the word bully in Japanese, whereas in English it says he takes his anger out on us. Funny guy. We get to the end of the passage after beating all the grunts and find that they were cutting off Slowpoke tails and selling them. That's always quite disturbing to me, even as a kid when I played this game. I wish the modern Pokemon would cover this type of edginess. After beating the final Rocket Grunt, Zero gets the first real explanation. Team Rocket disbanded 3 years ago, and they are hiding underground in hopes to bring back their leader. There's nothing further interesting in the language. We suddenly see Kurt, and are transported back to the house. What the hell? We notice the Slowpokes have also returned to the town. With Team Rocket disbanded in this town, Zero can now get over to the second gym. And that is it for today. Thank you to all that stayed until the end. I hope you've learned something. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps this small channel out. Till next time.